Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus. What we're going to do in today's show, as always, is look forward to the week ahead and see what's setting up in the FX markets. And there certainly are a few opportunities out there. I'd like to also take this opportunity just to say thank you to everybody for posting their comments and for sending us emails about the return of the Forex Focus. It is much appreciated. But without further delay, let's jump over to the charts and take a look at what's setting up. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the Euro New Zealand. Now, this time last week, we were sat here talking about this, saying that we were looking for a momentum move below this level here. The market did attempt to get below, but it didn't close below the level, and then it started trading back up above it. So this sort of moment in time, we're still waiting for that break to happen. We've had a little bit of a pullback here, which could present a nice opportunity to get in on a short on the 1 hour below this level here, just around the 1.6178 level. But if we want to be a little bit more conservative, we might wait to see that this level just basically breaks altogether. And then look for an opportunity to get in there. So I can see that there's or sort of anticipating quite a lot of downside momentum here once it does get below this level. So it's not like we'll miss the opportunity if we don't get in on this one here. But I'm going to wait to see how the price plays out when it opens up on Sunday night around this level here. And Monday morning before taking a decision on whether I'm going to get into it or not. The other opportunity, or the other, not opportunity as of yet, but the other thing that's presenting itself and could set up next week is this one on the dollar franc. The dollar franc here from the 1 hour chart, obviously it's been tracking up above this moving average here. But if we take a look at the 4 hour chart there, if we just zoom in there for a second, we can see that it's just been up for pretty much the past month without too much of a pullback. So we're looking for a bit more of a larger correction on the dollar franc here, and then another sort of attempt to the upside, in which if that does present itself, then we'll certainly be looking to get involved in that one there. But at the moment, it is a little bit overextended. It has been moving in pretty much one direction without so much of a pullback. So we are looking for a bigger pullback before we get involved in this trade here. Moving on to the Aussie franc. The Aussie franc is a similar sort of situation to the dollar franc in that it has been moving up for quite some time. Not too much of a correction there. It's trading up towards its highs. So if we take a look at that on the 4 hour chart, we can see that this pair's trading up towards the high. So really we want to see the market pull back somewhat towards the 100 moving average and sort of just respect it. Maybe pay some attention to this support level here, really tiny support level, 0.7304, and then give us an opportunity to go long. So with all of those pairs, with all of the franc pairs and the Euro New Zealands we just spoke about, there are opportunities on the table, but they're really ones that we're going to see how things develop next week as the markets open. The ones that are looking pretty imminent, one was the CAD yen, which we can see here on the daily. This is the one that we looked at last week. We said it was tracking above this trend line here, and really we're waiting for it to break below this trend line. At the moment, it hasn't really done that. So really we're waiting for momentum in this pair here to take a short. Once we get that, this is one that I really do like the look of. We've got the break of the trend line here. We've got previous level of support, then acts as resistance. So you can see here, it's been support in the past. It's played support here, here, and here. Played around with it back in February of last year. It's then treated it as support again this year, in February of this year, also August of last year. Then finally broke through it with quite some momentum there back in August, and has since been respecting this level here. So either way, it's going to be a pivotal level. If it breaks up above these highs here, then I can anticipate, we'll be expecting a move to the upside, perhaps up towards here or possibly even further, but it is weighted to the downside. The market is holding below this level here, so I do anticipate a short opportunity in the week ahead there. The Pound Aussie and the Euro Aussie are both presenting us with some nice opportunities here. We've got some momentum in both of these here. Obviously on the daily chart, the one thing we've got to pay attention to is this very, very big level structure low here, as you can see on the daily charts. But on the 4 hour and the 1 hour chart, they're presenting some good opportunities. So it might be a case of giving it a few goes, maybe stopped out once or twice, but eventually once the move goes, we'd be expecting really quite a big move in this pair here. So I'm looking for a break of this trend line. I know I'm going to be trading into the lows. I am aware of that. But for me, the risk reward there would warrant this, because what I'm expecting with this pair, it moves very quickly when it moves. And what I don't want to do is miss the opportunity there. I think that after this sort of momentum to the downside, you expect the market to give it another go. And I think that, basically getting in here, we will definitely collect some nice profits if we get the momentum move to the downside. Euro Aussie is a very, very sort of similar situation. And in fact, it's probably a better one than the pound Aussie, in that we're not trading into a structure level, pretty much a carbon copy of the pound Aussie in terms of setup. It's been trending down, as you can see, down, down, down. We had a bit of a bigger correction on this over here on the Euro Aussie, as you can see, over the past few days. So you've had a bigger correction than these ones here, which is what you want to see. To be honest, if it pulls back a little bit more, so if we get the correction on the 4 hour chart, that's absolutely fine too. But this is certainly one that's in my sights, looking to get into this when it triggers, hopefully next week. The pound yen is one we had on our radar last week. We had an opportunity there on the initial break, which obviously bared fruit, which was very, very nice. As you can see here, it broke on the trend line there, then gave us a pullback, which is what we like to see before breaking down again. So that was a very nice opportunity to be had there. If you had have missed that opportunity, if it wasn't for you, I am looking to get in short again, because the market clearly now has shown that it's got ideas to go to the downside, and ultimately I want to be short this below this level here. Probably place a stop above the highs, somewhere like that there. Initially looking, if we go over to the daily charts, we can completely see that once it breaks through this level here, the market could potentially drop down to these lows here at 18179, or potentially even to the structure lows there at 180.28. So a very, very good risk reward trade on the table there. Something I'm certainly going to look to get involved in if it sets up next week. And finally, we have the euro pound. Okay, euro pound is tracking up towards this trend line here, this moving average. As you can see, it's broken down below here. It's giving a bit of a pullback. It's tracking up towards the moving average. We've got the pullback on the 4 hour chart, which is nice to see. And basically, this isn't one that's going to, be a really, really big momentum move, but it is one where I can see this particular pair here. I can see it lower in the foreseeable future. So I can see it coming down to sort of these lows down here at 0.6930. Obviously, you'd have a tiny stop on there. So you're going to get sort of like a 2-to-1 type trade if we manage to get the market sell below here. So it's not the most volatile pair in the world, but it's certainly one where I can see some downside. Certainly one where we can see some nice profit opportunities. Okay. So that wraps it up for this week's Forex Focus. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope obviously you've got some good ideas there. Remember, obviously, that this isn't investment advice. We're just showing you what we're looking to do with one of our portfolios. So with our account, sorry. So basically, if you do like what you see here, obviously you need to go and do your own due diligence. You need to make sure that it's right for you. It's not investment advice. It's just our analysis. And what we believe is going to happen and what we're going to do with our own accounts. Okay, so again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, please feel free to drop us an email, post a comment beneath the video. Otherwise, have a really, really great weekend, and we will look forward to seeing you all on next week's Forex Focus. Okay, so take care now and good trading.